Welcome back to the Rest is F1 podcast. Today we are talking about the Spanish Grand Prix 2025. I'm your host Shaq, and with me I've got ABD. Welcome back, ABD. It's been a little while.
Yep, I took a short break, but back with a bang with Spanish GP.
Yeah, yeah, and a bang. There certainly was a few bangs in this race. Let's go from the I guess not as highlighted moments. Piastri obviously putting it on pole and converting that to fifth win of the season. It's pretty clear that McLaren are just well and truly in front, isn't it?
Absolutely, and what a weekend by Piastri. Outqualified his teammate by a big margin. Um, it was just outstanding from him. And if you look at Spain, um, the he started on pole, and I think in the last few races, whoever started on the pole didn't end that lap in the front of the pile, but he just managed it so perfectly through the first lap. No issues. Yeah, just an outstanding win. 5 wins so far. So yeah, just looking really good for him this season.
Um, Obviously he's now I believe 10 points in front. Would we would it be fair to say he is the favorite now? I know I've asked this every few races, but I think it's becoming a bit more of a clear picture.
He has to be the favorites now. Favorite now. When the season started, the popular driver was Lando Norris. Everyone was saying Lando Norris is going to win the championship. But also that comes from the fact that Piastri wasn't that good in race pace last season compared to Norris. Now, something has happened during the break, like he has gone and practiced so much maybe and built his racecraft. It's so good now. Good in qualifying, good in race pace, good in management of tires. Really good in putting Max Verstappen behind him, which Lando struggles most of the time. So yeah, definitely he has to be the favorite now.
Yeah, of course. Imola was a different one, I guess, but like you said, the whole presence of Verstappen, I guess it doesn't really bother him. He's got what they say, cool as a cucumber.
Mhm.
That's pretty much how Oscar is. I like the way he's going.
Yeah, so I don't know, Sharik, if you saw the post qualifying press conference. So there was this Brazilian journalist. She called Piastri Ice Boy, and the whole whole pack in that room was laughing at it, and
Yeah,
Piastri was laughing at it too.
yeah, yeah,
Uh, yeah, he is someone with a cool head above his shoulder. Just doesn't panic. No emotions, literally ice, ice face.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I've not seen him extremely happy for any of the race wins so far, so I think he knows what it's. I think you can understand his ultimate goal, and maybe if he does win, we can see some real emotion from the next Iceman. I don't want to call him Ice Boy. I don't feel like that's a very respectful thing. All right, so McLaren easily in front. Let's talk about the big juicy stuff. Like you said, like we were saying, big bang in the race. Max Verstappen, 5 laps to go. Safety car just finished up. Big incidents. You can't really call it incident. It's more incidents with first Leclerc and then Russell. I guess
Yep.
twice. Um, Obviously the Leclerc incident first. We'll talk about that. I don't feel there's too much to it. Obviously, Max lost control of the car. Oh, sorry, the hard tires he had just didn't fire up the way he wanted it to. He almost spun really, and he was so sideways, and he saved a really good save from Max as well. I give him props for that. But yeah, Leclerc obviously made use of that. He was right on his tail, overtook him. Little collision there. I would say Leclerc, just that move was sort of inevitable with the way the hard tires were for Max. But what do you think?
Yeah, actually, just 5 minutes ago, Max Verstappen posted something on Instagram, and I just want to read it out. So basically, he says, "We had an exciting strategy and a good race in Barcelona till the safety car came out. Our tire choice to the end and some moves after the safety car restart fueled my frustration, leading to a move that was not right and shouldn't have happened. I always give everything out there for the team, and emotions can run high. You win some together, you lose some together. See you in Montreal. It all started with that pit stop where they put him on hard tires and everyone else was on softs. Then he had the battle with Leclerc, and there's a bit of an argument online about who was at fault there. Um, there are some videos that has come out that says Leclerc actually moved left and hit Verstappen, which pissed him off as well.
Yeah.
And in the following corner with George.
Yeah. Yeah. So obviously the big one was with George. Obviously the Leclerc one was sort of a small thing, but obviously, George went for the move. He kind of, the brakes came on a bit too late. So it did force Max off the track. So he went off through the runoff that seemed to be a popular choice of track for a lot of people in this race, which we'll speak about in a minute. But yeah, just Russell kind of sent him off, and Red Bull were actually, they were being investigated. The incident was being investigated, and Red Bull themselves decided to make the choice to tell Max to actually give the place back. And we found out, and I'm sure it's out there by now, but we all found out that it was not the case and they were not going to get a penalty. And Max could have kept his fourth place. So that's something, I think that was maybe they were quite quick to judge, saying, "Oh, okay, we're gonna get the penalty, so we don't need that right now. Let's just give the position." But I think it's always good to wait and see. But it all became a big problem when he sort of half gave the position back, then absolutely sent it into the left-hander. It was just he just rammed Russell. Really, it was just something you don't see from Max very often. A very rare moment.
Yeah, I think it happened at the heat of the moment, and also few blunders from Red Bull that led to it, like the wrong tire choice, the wrong call on asking to give the position back. So a few mistakes from Red Bull there, and the surprising thing is all the pit stops they did previously were just amazing. Like they were going in the opposite direction of McLaren with the strategy and the pit stops, but just after the safety car, just everything went in vain. So yeah, a bit of an unfortunate incident. I hope he learns from it and be better on track next time.
Yeah, I personally I would say this is probably Max's biggest on-track mistake we've seen in like probably since he started winning world championships. Obviously there's context to it. The car's not as good and all these things, but you very rarely see Max do these types of things. Obviously, I see the picture in the back. That's exactly the scenario that happened. So yeah, so just yeah, just really really very different thing to see. Um, but like I was saying, a lot of people going off the track, going off through the runoffs. That seemed there was a lot of good battles, and we got some. We got actually, I believe it was four different teams, uh, in the bottom half of the points who actually ended up scoring. So that was Hulkenberg P5, Hadjar P7, Gasly in 8th, and Alonso P9. That's really nice to see the spread of points amongst the different teams, isn't it?
So is it Haas and Williams who hasn't scored? Everyone else scored.
Yes, I believe so. Yeah,
Every other team scored point.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's
Everyone else
that's
did. Yeah,
cool actually. So you got it like a RB, a Stake F1, Alpine, and also Aston Martin. So yeah, that's pretty good actually. I know the Williams was just not at the best at all
yeah,
in this race, but good to see other teams, up there scoring points.
yeah. I think the special mention has to go to who I believe should have got driver of the day for the end by the end of the race. Nico Hulkenberg, P5, finished ahead of Lewis Hamilton, who was sixth. I think that is just like obviously I think it's a mix of the Sauber strategy, who I would I'd give pretty good credit to Sauber for this race, but I think
Yeah.
finishing P5, that's pushed them up 2 spots in the championship. It's just like the
Uh,
first race, so
yeah.
they've just somehow like snuck up there, and yeah, I don't know how he's managing it. He's such I just believe he's such an underrated driver.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, he used to be really good at qualifying. Just hasn't got the best car under him, like in throughout his career. But one thing to say is when Hulkenberg overtook Hamilton, that must have, really hurt the Ferrari team. Like, Stake of One is using Ferrari engine and few other parts from Ferrari as well. And the budget that Ferrari has is so much higher than what's taken F1 has. So that must hurt Ferrari.
Yeah, speaking of Ferrari, I think in this race, even though we had a struggling Hamilton who was off his game, that was very odd to see. I think you could still say they had a decent race. The pace that Leclerc was showing was really promising. I think it could be, if he had started up further in the order, maybe you could have seen a different effect. And obviously, they're actually second in the constructors now. They've jumped Red Bull and Mercedes from this because Antonelli didn't finish and Verstappen obviously got very low points.
I saw that. So now it's McLaren, Ferrari, Mercedes, and Red Bull, right?
Yeah, yeah. So Red Bull are fourth now. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So it's a like it's nice to see how easily it can change. Even like last race, I believe the three teams were split by 5 points or something like that. So it's really good. It's really good to see. It would be nice if McLaren wasn't so far ahead. Obviously, in the last video we were talking about how they could potentially even beat the 2023 Red Bull. Um, uh, finishing point, like score, I guess. They've got more
Actually,
races to do it as well, so that's something as well.
yeah. Actually, just on that point, Shaq, they they bought new regulation changes at in Spain
Yeah,
to remove the flexi wings, and every other team, especially Red Bull, were hoping that will slow McLaren down. But by
the
the looks of
opposite.
it,
Yeah,
it has making them stronger.
yeah, it's made them stronger. I just, it looks like the gap just genuinely like it's like they're way faster now after this change, right? It seems to be like they're just benefiting from it because obviously it's still a restriction on all the other cars.
We got to talk about Isaac Hajar.
Oh yes,
So
yes.
in the last three races, he has won. Sorry, he has finished in P9, P6, and P7. For me, he is undoubtedly like the rookie of the season so far.
Absolutely, yeah.
Just so consistent. After what happened in Australia, he has been really consistent. Um, yeah, like if you think about it, Liam Lawson is such an experienced F1 driver compared to Hajar, but he's nowhere near Hajar. So he's just nailing it. I really hope next season or in 2 seasons from now, some top teams get him, and I hope it's not Red Bull.
Yep,
But
because you know what happens when you go to Red Bull.
exactly. So yeah. I just want to say some special mention for Hajar
Yeah.
for the performance he's showing so far.
Actually, in regards to that, I just want to say, like, I think F1 can be very random with the at times. When Lawson came in to what was AlphaTauri at the time, he was actually consistently almost beating Sonoda every race, and he was like really making his mark. And then he didn't get his chance, so he had to wait longer, and then he got his chance. But then it was sort of even, and now he's being beaten by another rookie. So it's funny how all of this can work together like that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, of course, Hajar just really special. I think he's got a good bright future ahead of him. Yeah, that's pretty much everything, isn't it?
Yeah, that was an interesting race overall. Few below midfield teams scoring points. Um, Alonso scoring his first points in the season, so
Yeah,
that was really good to see as well. Um, yeah, really looking forward to the next race. I hope, like you said, Norris and Piastri has show some more fight on the track. Like Nico versus Lewis back in the day, teammates battling. We haven't seen that for a while, so it'd be good to see that.
Yeah. Well, that sums up pretty much everything for this race. We got another week's break before the Canadian Grand Prix, but we're absolutely looking forward to it. It's been a good triple header, a nice return to F1, but now we get a break. So, yeah, that sums up everything. Until then, we'll see you guys in the next video for the Canadian GP prediction. Bye bye.
Thanks for watching. Bye.